The power of your mind is everything. Your belief system is everything. So my question in this video is, what do you believe? Hi everyone, so today is actually going to be a spiritual video. I want to talk about spirituality because I always feel like people don't really understand it. It's been this thing where it's like people who talk about spirituality are very like kooky and like cool. I feel like that's what people think about when they think of spirituality. And then on the opposite side, it's like people usually will say, I don't want to be those people because I'm cool, you know. On the opposite side is like the people that want to party, have sex, do all these things, whatever, and just have fun in life and stuff. And then on the other side is all these people that just like,
I meditate and I'm deeply spiritual.
For the longest time, we always separated like science and religion and stuff like that, right? Because religion was always seen as like, oh, it's just a belief system. It might not even be true. But for the first time in history, I feel like for the first time in history, it's so exciting to me. It's so exciting to me because who does that? Who jumps around excited? No, but for the first time in history, I'm super excited because the two worlds are becoming one. Oh, it's so beautiful to watch. It's so beautiful to watch because I love both worlds. I love the science world and I love the religious world. I don't really care for religion, but I love belief systems. Okay, I love the belief system. I've always been a Christian. I love Jesus so much. Like, he is my superhero and I love him so much, but it's always been looked upon like, how do you know your belief is actually true? Well, what's it to you? It's working out for me. If you don't believe it, that don't mean you should shut mine down. Anyways, but so for the first time, science is now proving that what has been said all these time for centuries and centuries and centuries was accurate in the first place. Medicine is starting to recognize that belief systems shape your health. I feel like it is invigorating. It is an exciting time to be alive because for the first time, you can change your life. The things that they told us before that used to affect us, it's not how it is. So like, for example, things like genetics, right? Because people are like, oh, you're predisposed to things like this or whatever. And if it's in your family and it's hereditary and stuff, you're definitely going to get it. Oh, her mother had cancer. She's going to get cancer just because it's hereditary. Like stuff like that doesn't really count anymore because now we are starting to realize that it is not so. It is based upon your belief system. So I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, right? So I heard a story about this one guy and they're doing an experiment and they wanted to see the power of the mind. So what they did is they put the guy in a dark room and then they hooked him up to like an IV or whatever. They wanted to just see how things would progress and stuff. The room was dark. The guy couldn't see any. Unknowing to the guy, they actually they punctured a bag so then it would drip on the side of the guy. Well, anyways, so the guy thinks, oh no, my IV went bad and it's dripping, right? So he's hearing the sound of like bloop, 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 and he's thinking, oh crap, I'm bleeding out. Lo and behold, the people came in the morning and the guy was dead. What killed him? You guys, the power of the mind. He wasn't bleeding at all. He wasn't bleeding. It was the drip, the sound of the stuff that they put on the side. But he was so freaked out that he was bleeding out that he killed himself with the power of his mind. The power of your mind is everything. Your belief system is everything. So my question in this video is, what do you believe? You really need to know what you believe. And that's where it all starts. That's where your spiritual journey begins, people. That's where it begins because you need to know what you believe. Do you believe those things because somebody told you to believe those things? And if so, you need to believe it for yourself. Because I find that a lot of people, when I'm having conversations with them, they'll regurgitate what their pastor told them and regurgitate what their minister told them and stuff like that. But it's not really their reality. Do you understand what I'm saying? But until I got to a point where I questioned everything, God didn't become real for me. Because God is experiential. It's more of a relationship thing than a religious thing. It's not about how many times you go to church. It's about how well do you know you and in communication with God. And the way that you start this whole process is you question everything. I mean, ask questions like, why the heck we do that? Why am I like this? Who am I? Why am I even here? What's my purpose? Why do I do things the way that I do things? And when you shatter down all those things, you begin to find answers for yourself. You become a brand new person. And that's your spiritual journey right then and there. Your spiritual journey is simply remembering who you are. It's coming into a remembrance of who God created you to be. And so I hope that as you're watching this video, that I'm igniting some things in your brain and that you'll start thinking about it and you're like, hey, how come I'm seeing all these law of attraction attraction videos? How come I'm seeing all these like scientific, like you are the sum of your thoughts? How come I'm seeing all these videos? Because it's the truth. It's not a new trend. It's always been around. Let's not look at it and think, oh my God, we're smarter than those that have been here before. No, you're not. It's been around. We're coming into it now because science, most people believe science and stuff. I've always believed it because, you know, I believe the word of God. I was like, look at this. But it's always been there. It's always been around. People have always utilized it. Great people have always utilized it. Einstein was a person who believed that there was so much more than meets the eye, although he was a scientist and stuff. And he actually put certain things into motion as well, like gravity. He understood vibration. He understood frequency. All these things, he understood them. And Nikola Tesla, if you go read his books, he understood the power of the mind. And all his creativity came from somewhere. So you look at people that are really good at doing stuff like Steven Spielberg. Where do you think all his ideas come from? They come from somewhere. Like, what do you think makes all these creative people really, really creative? You look at people like Tyler Perry. I wonder how, I just find his mind very fascinating. I find minds of creative people very fascinating. We are all creative beings. We might exhibit it in different ways, but that doesn't mean that you're not creative, because we're created in the image of God and you are a creator. Okay, I will talk to you guys in another video. I hope that this ignites something in you to begin your spiritual journey process and stuff, because it's so much fun, you guys. It's not that cool stuff that you see all the time where people are like, oh my God, I'm gonna be burning some sage or whatever. You don't gotta burn sage. You don't have to light a candle. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. Nothing wrong with it if that's for you. But you can start with meditation. And how I meditate, I can show you guys in another video. I will do a video to show you guys how I meditate. But anyways, I love you guys. I will see you guys in another video. Remember that you are the light. Shine your light very bright, because it's what sets other people free. All right, guys, take care.